Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Friday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention now to American football / Gridiron. And of course, we're heading to the Western Crusaders in particular. Of course, speak about hopefully getting a season underway this side of 2021. But if not, they'll have a chance to do it in 2022. And of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now for the men's team to tell us a bit about how it's been like so far. Thanks both for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us how's it been like with the uncertainty of when you're hoping to get back on the field.
I don't think anyone's really enjoyed lockdown. So to be fair, when that's football's your passion, it's been really excruciating for me and for most of the boys. They're just keen to get out and have a run. Last season was cancelled, as a lot of sports were, and we're just raring to go. So, fantastic news for us is that Gridiron Victoria is committed to, making something happen. And whenever we can get out on the pitch, we'll start the season, which is going to be great.
My name's Matthew. I've just been back with the club for a couple of years, so it's been a long anticipated wait for getting back underway. And as Craig said, Craig's our head coach and quite a successful head coach for the team. It's just we're all anticipation and just waiting for the season to kick off.
Am I assuming that you've already done some sort of pre-season before this lockdown?
It's been a little bit of an intermittent pre-season. Most of our guys have managed to train in little groups every now and again, depending on where you're living. There was probably a period of about 4 weeks where we could train as a whole team. And unfortunately, the most recent lockdowns put a stop to that. So
with this lockdown at the moment, and obviously the season that was supposed to start around about now, or I guess another 2 more weeks from now, I guess, has it changed the way that you have sort of approached the season, knowing that obviously you didn't play at all last year, most likely touch and go with this year? Is that changed the way that the team has gone into, the upcoming season, whenever that will be?
Yeah, look, normally you've got plenty of notice for the season to start, and you work your way back from that date to see how many training sessions you can get in, and you've got an install plan, so that we make sure that not only the fitness, but the skills and the techniques, and then also the knowledge around the playbook is installed. So that's been, obviously that whole plan's been, thrown out the window. Normally it's like the D-Day invasion. It's planned down to the nth degree. Right now we're just trying to get as many elements in as we can, as Matt said, based on the ad hoc nature of when we can get in and be together. Where we can't, there'll be some one-on-one tuition. I know Matt's our quarterback and he's been working with our offensive coordinator, to hone his skills and knowledge up, and he'll grab as many boys as he's allowed or who are available. So, look, we're just trying to make it work and just trying to fit in. So one thing lockdown's taught us, I suppose, is to be, pretty flexible and make the most of the chances you do get.
That's 100% right, and I reiterate what Craig has said. I think at the Crusaders, we're lucky enough to have a lot of experienced veterans at the moment, and we run Q&A sessions in our online groups, and some of our veterans live close enough, luckily, to the rookies that we've got coming through, and they're showing real promise. So it's looking good so far. Restrictions
sort of easing as of tonight, obviously with the expanded from the 5 take radius to the 10K radius. Is that going to help a little bit more in regards to hopefully some sort of preparation?
Oh, look, I don't think it will help that much more. I think we're still restricted to groups of 2 or 3 or something like that. So maybe the boys can all get together and have a picnic of 5 each or something. I don't know, but it's pretty tough. We'll just go with the same setup once we're allowed on the pitches. I mean, I think at the end of the statement they said, look, they are looking to recreation activities and restarting those at least outdoors. So when they do, the great thing is, it's an amateur sport. Sometimes you might get 50%, 80% of your squad there. I'm sure everyone's raring to go, and, we'll have a big turn up when we do get out there.
I guess going to the season, is the goal still there in regards to, winning a premiership? And I guess considering that you just have no certainty of when you're going to start?
Myself, I've only come back for the last couple of seasons, and obviously one was cancelled. But coming into this team, and knowing what they've come from. This is the most successful sporting organisation I've ever been a part of. And their desire and the team's desire to create records and be the best in the history of a short game, everybody's raring to go. I'm blessed to be a part of a team that's been undefeated for 40 games, and we've won 3 championships in a row, and we're aiming for another couple. So everybody's on board, and I think a lot of the older guys are staying around just to see if they can be part of history. So that's a good driving force at the moment.
Okay. Our culture is about, just being the best that you can be. And we try and work with our own standards. So I'm very mindful that every other club's in the same boat we are, apart from, probably Geelong and Bendigo, who I think they've just started training, or notifications are going to start training next week. But look, we've got Zoom, we can get online, we can do our one-on-one. So we'll just find other ways to make it happen. And our team's, pretty good at working through adversity. But look, for us, it's about setting a standard of excellence and measuring yourself up against that. The boys are out there motivating themselves to make sure they turn up fit, make sure that they're putting the work in where they can. And really, it's just that team cohesion. And look, to be fair, as long as we make the finals, that's when we get a chance to play for the playoff, the main game, hopefully. And we'll just do everything we can to get enough games, in the bank so we can get there.
Now, I know this is going to sound the most silliest question I'm going to ask, but is there a particular team that you versed prior to this pandemic that you'll love to beat again more than the others?
I think on the count of 3, I think both of us could say the same thing. I'm going to say the Rangers. The Rangers have always been a tough challenge, but there was a flag football competition run not long ago by the Rangers, and unfortunately they got the better of us. So it's time for a bit more payback in a genuine format, I reckon.
Yeah, look, the great thing about this league is it's been going for, I think, since '85. Whenever you've got a game, you can pretty much work yourself up to, this is our rival game, this is our big game. We've got some new clubs in as well who are really, putting in some big effort and trying to make moves. So, they're going to be always challenging. So, let's be up for the challenge. And some of the older clubs like the Rangers have been around for a long, long time. You love to beat the old guard and just stay one step ahead. So every game's special. Every game's got a rivalry that we can point to, and it's really motivating. And I'm sure the other clubs do the same against us. We're the hated guys at the moment and the ones that they want to beat. So, it makes for a great competition.
NFL season's already started, which is good news, I guess. Have you honed, some different techniques that you can pick from, the NFL? I know it's very early in the morning on a Monday to use into the season whenever that will be? Yeah,
look, for me, the great thing is the NFL started, that's fine, but the college has been going there for 2 weeks. I think after week 1, I watched 13 games that week, which is fantastic. We've been hanging out for football for a long time, and the coaches over there, likewise, they've been in lockdown over there and seasons have been cancelled. So some of the concepts that they're coming out with are really great fun. Been fantastic to have a look at it. So, yeah, look, if you're a football fan, there's a lot of great games, a lot of great techniques, and a lot of fresh faces. So it's awesome.
At the moment, you're the defending champions, going for number 4, I believe now, or maybe 5. I've completely lost count how many you've actually won in a row. But I guess out of the premiership that the team has won so far, is there one particular premiership that is more special than the others?
I've been involved in all of them, I guess, but I think the first one, has got to be, look, that's always going to be the best, simply because, the club had a 10-year drought before that, so they'd made finals and been pipped at the post on a number of occasions. A lot of guys had been with the club for a long time. To be able to deliver, a championship back to the club with those players, it was absolutely, a little bit of magic. And, memories the guys will always have. To be fair, we didn't lose that many players after the season. Guys, as Matt said, wanted to keep on going. And every year you've got really a new team. fresh faces, but you've got a bunch of core guys as well. So they're all great. They're all fantastic for certain reasons. But I think the first one that we won was probably a notch above.
How did both of you get involved in American football, and why did you choose it?
13, 14 years ago, I had a lifelong friend that come across from the States, and he suggested coming down to the Western Crusaders just for a bit of fun. And at the time, I was a young fella and just wanted to try something new. And I did a few seasons, and unfortunately, I drifted away from the sport. But I've come back, and I'm a part of something really great. I can't think of a better place to be at the moment. This sport is unique in its own right. It takes bits and pieces from every other game, from rugby and football and soccer and all this sort of stuff, and just the way people have to work together. I reckon it's pretty much the ultimate team sport, and if that's what you like, that's where you got to be. And I love being here at the moment, so it's great.
Yeah, look, for myself, I've been involved for a long time. I think I started back in around the early 90s, so it's a long time. Played till I was about 43, and the great thing is, like most sports, is you play with your mates, and you build awesome camaraderie in this sport. You really do rely on your mates. As Matt said, it's the ultimate team sport, and the bonds that you forge out on the field will last you for a lifetime. It's also a very rewarding sport. I know it's the fifth code, but there's some of these other codes you'd struggle to ever get to play for your state or play for your country. With Gridiron, we have World Cups and national championships and all sorts of things. So even the World Games, the rumour is that I think 2028 flag football will be, which is the non-contact version, will be an Olympic sport. So being able to play for your country in the Olympics, in flag football would be pretty special. But yeah, it's got so much to offer. As Matt said, I'd certainly recommend it to anyone who loves to challenge themselves.
You play in a lot of people will say it's a very glamour position, quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, I guess how you found being the quarterback of a premiership team?
I'm going to say that the pressure's quite up there. The last season we managed to play in 2019, I was a wide receiver, and I got the privilege to be a wide receiver for a quarterback from America. And so there's big shoes to fill. Everybody says we're the pretty boys and all that sort of stuff, but the position as itself is quite tough, and you can't have a quarterback without having an offensive line, without having your receivers doing their jobs. And the better they are at their position, the easier it makes my life. So, look, the pressure's high, but love a challenge, and I love the blokes that I'm going into battle with, and I'll support them and try my best any way I can.
For both of you, what does American football mean to both of you, especially being there at the Western Crusaders?
Look, football's really, it's a huge part of my life. As I said, I've been doing it for 100 years. It's my hobby. It's where, most of my friends are and have been. So yeah, it's great. I mean, you get to test yourself every week. It's just got so many different facets that you can get out of it. But look, the greatest thing about football, I think, is that it rewards hard work. If you put the effort in, then you'll get the result. It's one of the most honest sports you'll ever meet. If talent doesn't work hard in Gridiron, then you just don't win games. You've got to have that mix and that blend. And it is a great leveler. The intellectual side of the game, along with the physical side of the game. You've got to have both halves of that working together with 11 blokes at the same time. It's just the greatest puzzle every week to try and solve for, So, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, and I agree with what Craig says. Like, with football, it's a game that anybody can really play. Like, we've got guys that are 6'6" and weigh 150 kilos, and we've got guys that are 5'5" and weigh nothing that are lightning fast. It's a game that anybody and everybody can bring something to. For me, it's a new test of skills and knowledge, and it's another challenge in my life. And it's something I'm looking forward to trying to get the best out of I can, and the best out of with the blokes I'm playing with. So, and especially with the coaching staff. So,
Craig, I need to ask you this question. You mentioned that obviously you were a player, now you're a coach. What have you learned from your playing time that you've taken to your coaching? And it was an easy transition from playing to coaching?
Yeah, so look, I was a player coach for a long time. So I probably about 15 years I was player coach. So look, that was really good. The first thing is that you've got to lead by example. People find you out very quickly when you're a player coach that doesn't lead by example. So there's definitely that aspect of it. But I'd suggest that the best players are the ones who put the most preparation in. And the best coaches are the ones who put the most preparation in. So, as I said, football loves hard work. It's such an honest sport that if you haven't put the work in, you could be a super talented team, a super talented player, but you just won't optimise your potential, and you'll be relying on someone else to make a mistake for you to win. But if you do everything and you put the work in, then that result, whilst it's not guaranteed, the odds really start to bend in your favour, So that would probably be the greatest lesson I've taken away from it, and it translates into all aspects of your life, whether it be work or home, that tends to hold true every time.
And for everyone out there that should get involved in American football, especially down there in the western suburbs, or anywhere in Melbourne for that matter, what will be your advice to people to get involved in the sport of American football once we get our lockdown?
Look, the first thing to do was to look up Gridiron Victoria on the internet, find a club that's in your area, and watch a few games of NFL. Get down to the first session, and I'm sure whoever's down there will introduce you around. The camaraderie in this sport's amazing. You'll end up making some great friends and friends for life, as I said. And that's probably where it all starts. So but there's plenty of information out there. Every club's got Facebook and web pages and those sorts of things. But Gridiron Victoria will give you the central point to get the right place for you.
You must tell us whereabouts is your home ground.
Yep, Henry Turner Reserve in Footscray. We're just in behind Victoria University near Tony Dottomate Oval. So it's a really central location. So great spot.
Any comedians that we should know about?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so. I think the guys are all pretty lighthearted. We're a very inclusive club, so I think everybody is quite happy to have a laugh, have a joke around with each other. Obviously, it's like most team sports. If you obviously have a bit of a clangy, everybody makes a bit of fun, but it's a pretty serious sport. But most of the guys love having fun. We're all inclusive. We've got people from every race, nationality, and we all get along and have a great time. So I can't really point out one over the top comedian because we all just enjoy having fun and having a game. So
any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
None for me.
No. I think most guys, I think the given nowadays is most players just chuck the headphones on and have the music going. No, I can't think. No, I don't have any either. No, sorry.
No, that's all right. Any good singers or dancers we should know about, or we shouldn't really know about?
There's none on the coaching staff, I can tell you right now.
No, I just have to reiterate the answer I gave before. I think everybody just loves having a bit of fun, and obviously being around a winning culture and an inclusive culture that I think it makes everybody shine and have a bit of fun. So yeah, no, I can't think of a standout dancer, to be honest.
We'll finish off with this last two. Now, I'm assuming both you have a favorite NFL team. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You might as well tell us who's those NFL team and how do you think they're going to go this year?
Go on, Craig.
Yeah, well, thanks, mate. I'm a Falcons fan, Atlanta Falcons. So we're not doing too good already, and we don't look like we're going to do too good. But we're probably a very resilient fan base. Probably still haven't gotten over that loss to the New England Patriots, but we'll just keep plugging away.
I can't say my team's doing any better. I go for the Green Bay Packers, and I think we started off the worst of the year. So,
yeah.
No, die-hard fan, but, yeah, it doesn't look good at the moment.
Oh, well, that sounds like the three of us, because my team, the Tennessee Titans, didn't do that well either on the weekend. So that's the three of us there. Now, we'll finish up with this one last one, which is there any embarrassing moments throughout both your time in the sport of either yourselves or anyone in the team?
Honestly, nothing that comes to mind, to be honest. Like I said before, everybody has that clanger, like you get two hands to a ball and you drop an easy catch or something like that, and everybody makes a giggle. But embarrassing, nah, that wouldn't be something that I can pinpoint anything. How about yourself, Craig?
Well, look, there's always something that goes on, yeah. Look, it's just, as Matt said, the banter at the club's pretty good. So if there's ever anything embarrassing, the banter, goes off pretty quick. But it's all in good fun, and there's nothing really jumps out.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. We'll hopefully, when the season gets underway, hopefully this side of 2021, hopefully we'll get down to one of your games down there at Footscray, and definitely check out the sport of American football, and hopefully for your team in particular, you can continue heckling a 5-year reign at the top of the ladder, as champions at the moment, technically, 5 years at the moment. Hopefully you can make it 4 out of the last 6 years.
Yeah, 100%. Look, thanks for your time. And look, we're always looking for new players. It's a great sport, and encourage anyone who's got an interest to get on the GV Gridiron Victoria website. Look us up if we're in the area and come on down. We'd love to have you turn up.
Thank you very much.
No worries. And that's Craig and Matt there joining us from the Western Crusaders Gridiron Club. And of course, we'll put all the details up on how you can get involved with the Western Crusaders, of course, the reigning champions at the moment in the men's side of things, in the Vic Bowl, that is. And of course, once we get our lockdown, of course, we'll put all the details up on their home games and, of course, road games as well throughout the season. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.